So anyway, he is the guy that plays USD. If you guys didn't know, he plays USD. That's all you gotta know about him. Okay. Now, introductions, Mr. Cactu. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Add on to the fact that you play USD. Give a brief intro for that.
Okay, well, I play OSD and I have 3 rounds entering stage 6 in EOSD LNN attempts, and all of them got LNN. So that's 3 stage 6 perfects in a row in LNN pace, and one of them scored like almost all of the score that you can get in an LNN run. So, and then I had the world record for like 14 months in 2016 for overall EOSD world record.
Okay. Yeah, but that was with 665 mil or something like that, I think.
Yeah, 665. It was a game over on Vampire Illusion. And it was like 708 mil pace, back when 700 mil was like impossible because you couldn't do misdirection bombs at all.
Fair enough. Now, basically, Cactu is gonna be like, he's kind of the rival to my EOSD ambitions, because both of us are going right now for 700 mil. In doing so, I mean, we've both been grinding out a lot too, by the way. We've been grinding this thing out for the past month or so, I think. Cactu's risking injuring himself even further with his frail lolly arms. You know, I'm starting to feel it too. I'm starting to feel it in my tendons. Like, oh, I can't use blue cherry switches because this game is too hard on me. Like, it's yeah. So we're the guys that have taken it too far. You know, like, if people say, all right, yeah, let's play EOC. Let's go for an LMB. Yeah, let's go for 500 mil. Yeah, let's go for 400 mil. You know, people in the community have all this with USD, right? We're saying, hey, you know, let's try going for 700 mil. So we're basically just utterly dumb and mongoloid, and I don't think Cactu would disagree with me, right? Like we're pretty much idiots, right?
Idiots.
Yeah,
Idiots.
we're pretty much idiots. But yeah, so coming from 2 people who share that goal and are pushing towards that direction with the games, I wanted to talk about the finer aspects when it comes to higher level Touhou, especially within a game that's specialized like EOSD. Both of us, again, so I don't need to say it again, but both of us are going for 700 mil, and that's quite a difficult score to achieve. And I don't know if I should involve like questions with this, because people might. So alright, so I'll say this: if anybody in chat has questions regarding like higher level things, like what got you into scoring, or what made you get into higher level scoring, or anything like that, for either of us, go ahead and you can do that. Ask anything you want. Cactus is pretty open to AMAs, I'm pretty sure, and my life's an open book. I don't really have much to hide at this point, so you can ask me whatever as well, at any point. But that's only if anybody's curious enough. So that being said, did you want to say anything particularly about your own ambitions, like where it led you? Because right now you're doing for EOSD 700 mil. You did that in 2016 as well. The whole journey, that process.
Well, 700 mil was just like trying to beat Ichizoku. That was the goal. What made me score extra says Kana. I wanted to get Western record in extra, and then I thought I would be able to beat Ichizoku again and get world record, but I actually could not do it. And the fucking let me just say that EOSD extra Rainbow B, never again, dude. Holy shit.
All right, fair enough. And so, all right, so big thing is the 700 mil in USD, right, with Rainbow B.
Yeah.
Now, all right, we had 2 different approaches to it, because obviously I'm a little bit newer when it comes to scoring than you are. You've had a lot more experience than I've had, and it's a lot more personal for you. I'm pretty confident in saying that it's more personal for you than it is for me.
Yeah, I started in 2010.
Which is
Ever is like 2013.
Yeah. And I didn't even play EOSD for that. Like, cause Cactus like stayed with EOSD, like only EOSD from that point on. You know.
Yeah,
so.
I'm like only OSD from like 2012 or something.
Which is pretty crazy. So, yeah, you're basically one of the pioneers of EOSD at this point. We can say that, but so what is it about EOSD actually? Because I've actually been curious for a bit, but I haven't really brought it out. But why EOSD? Like, what made you pick that game? Like, stay with it.
Survival difficulty.
So something like, okay, this game is difficult, and if I do this, I can gain prestige with that game. Something like that.
It's just fun to challenge myself with something that's really fucking hard, and scoring is basically that.
Okay, so that's where we're different. You got into it for a personal self-challenge, and while that's the case for me as well, I actually, one of the big reasons why I picked up EOSD is because, you know, it's one of the games that everyone looks at and is like, that game is fucking ridiculously hard, you know. There's a lot of prestige in that. Like, if you get an LNN in the EOSD, you're, you know, you did something. At least back then, that was considered one of, like, the biggest things, right? I guess it would still be considered a pretty prestigious goal, you know, achievement to have an EOSD LNN, but it's, yeah, especially back in the day, that was considered basically impossible, depending on where you
Dude.
go. Yeah, like 2012.
In like 2012 June, people thought that it was impossible to LNN USD, like actually humanly impossible, and people thought that nobody would do it in like the next 10 years, and then 2 people did it on the same date.
Yeah, Sock and Cleo, I believe.
Yeah.
And to this day, we don't know which one of them got it first.
Yeah, no one knows, because no one has asked them, because we're all lazy.
Next time I see Sock, actually, maybe I should ask him if he actually knows. Maybe they don't know either, because EOS doesn't have the timestamps, right? Like the actual timestamps in the replay. It only has the date, from what I understand, right?
Yeah, dude.
Damn. So how would you... There's no way to know then, is there? Unless they made a Twitter post about it? I don't know. Even that would be kind of inaccurate.
Yeah, dude.
Well, that's unfortunate. Well, we'll never know then who got EOSD first. They got it on the same day, though, because Sock and Cleo. I remember seeing that list, and there was 3 people. Sock, Cleo, and Miruki, I think.
Miduki, yeah, man. And I was the 4th one, man.
And yeah, you got it in 2013 as the 4th guy with the EOSD LNN. And I'm pretty sure back then, too, you thought, dude, I just did something that nobody will have done in the next 30 years of my life.
Yeah, basically.
And now what do you look at? Like, you see, like, how many people have EOSD LNN now? Let me take a look at this real quick.
Yeah, it's like 15, dude.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24
Yeah,
individual
indeed.
LNNs.
Ultraloth. When I got my first LNN, I wrote my current address into the chat box so that anyone from Finland could call me an ambulance, because I thought I was going to literally die from the adrenaline. I'm not even kidding.
Dude, I'm not surprised. Adrenaline rush that you get on like your first LNN, or something that you've been going for the longest time, and it has that kind of prestige, it's unreal, right? Like, I'm sure a lot of people, like the older people in the community especially, can attest to that, but if you're on a run that's very prestigious or important, like your first LNN, especially if it's in the game like EOSD. Mine was an SA, and even then for me, I remember still to this day what it felt like. I've never felt such a tingling sensation in my arms before. I don't know what you felt, but for me, my arms, it felt like it was being electrocuted. That's how bad it was. And I could not keep my hand steady. Like, if I held it out, it was vibrating. You could see it vibrating.
Yeah, like you can see it actually like move, like holy shit.
I couldn't press my keys properly. I remember that much. Like, I had to like force my fingers down. Like, I couldn't like tap how I normally tap. I had to like move down with my wrist to press the keys.
Right, right.
It was actually quite an interesting experience, though. Oh man, yeah, it's an experience. It's definitely an experience to be on your first LNN, and everybody should experience that at one point in their lives. It's actually quite, you know, there's something to it, right? There's something to it. But, I mean, that's not for everyone too either. It's only for a select few. There are some people who are actually striving for elements now amongst some of the newer players in the West. Ultralot being one of them, and this guy with like 30 different names. I don't know what to call him. Purple name guy.
How many misses does he have?
Who, Ultra?
No, that other guy.
Oh,
with
he
30
has
rings.
several one miss no bombs, I think.
You
Two.
mean Ghost?
Oh wait, you're talking about Ghost? I thought you were talking about
No, who? Wait, Interest None has 13 one miss no bomb in EOSD?
in UFO. UFO.
Oh, UFO, and with summoned UFOs, right?
Yeah, summoned UFOs.
Okay, yeah, never mind. I thought you were talking about EOSD.
Cactu suddenly
I was
lost
like,
all interest
holy
in you.
shit. No, I was like, what the fuck? Someone in the West has 13 one miss no bombs of EOSD? Like, I was like shocked.
Cactu has selective reading. He only when he reads LNN's USD automatically is inserted into his mind.
I didn't hear UFO, man.
Right out, I lost LNN to LFS. Come on, man, you know LFS. You know what LFS is. Surprisingly, I think amongst all of my, the big goals that I've done, I think UFO was the most smooth experience. It was the smoothest experience I had. I mean, certainly I found it prestigious and I was nervous. It was the UFO. It was the big game, right? But that was the smoothest LNN I've ever done. Or, something to that degree. SA was difficult. Even the second shot type in SA was just aggravatingly hard with Rainbow B that I did. EOSD was... My god. The death at the Scarlet and Sokyo. Do you remember that 2-miss that I had on Scarlet and Sokyo?
Yeah.
That kind of broke me. The wall, man. Every time, for some reason on Scarlet and Sokyo, I got a goddamn wall. I don't know what it was back then, but your 10%, wall potential rate was bullshit, man. I'm calling you out on that. You fed me bullshit, Cactu. Hey, Ever, there's only a 10% chance you're gonna get a wall in Scarlet and Sokyo. It felt like there was a 10% chance I'll avoid a wall in Scarlet and Sokyo. That thing was, I had nightmares. I had traumas about Scarlet and Sokyo back then.
I felt sorry for you. Truly sorry for you.
Oh my god.
I was like, just watching like, please no wall, please no wall, please no wall. Not again!
Oh, come to think of it, you didn't watch it live, right? You didn't watch the LNN live when I managed to pull it off.
I'm not even sure.
Yeah, I don't think you did. Because oh yeah, I remember I linked you my replay of it, and you're like, oh, what the fuck, Pog champ, and then I went right into scoring after that. So yeah.
Right. I'm pretty drunk right now, so
Word.
that's why I didn't even recognize Interest None, like his comment about the
Nice.
LFS.
Nice. 13. I think I have about 13 one miss in SA. I had a lot more potential one miss, but I just reset after like a death on like Utsuho's first non or some not first non, but like second non. Because I never did the method on the second non where you go up the screen. I always try to dodge it on the bottom because I had to prove myself. The same thing with the fucking popcorn section. I didn't get because that's cheesy. Fucking Nindel! Nindel's the reason why it took me so long after that. There are so many runs that I died on that stupid popcorn section. Admittedly, it's not supposed to be hard, but back then, the games weren't as very optimized and, anyway. I'm digressing. This is about you, man. Alright, so Cactus, so...
No, it's about Nindo, man. That's the first guy who got the LNN in the West. That's who we should be talking about, right? Not me.
Nindel, I wouldn't mind talking a little bit about Nindel because, yeah, he was the big guy in the West because he was the first Western
Dude,
LNN.
he was like the fucking best. He got the LNN in SA.
Was SA considered a hard game back then?
Yeah, well, no, but he got LNN. Like, nobody had that.
Didn't Dempa have an LNN in MOF quite quickly?
Oh, Monk?
Yeah, he had MOF LNN, but wait, was that after Nindel's SA LNN?
That was after Nindel, as I say.
Okay, gotcha. Because I know Dempa got his LNN in MOF very quickly. Like, he did it in, I think he said 150 hours. Which, if you think about it, is fucking insane. But, Yeah, I wouldn't be able to
but
do that
people
now.
People thought that Nindella was gonna go for 5 bill in SA. Like actually, I thought that he was gonna go for it.
And then he just died. At some
Yeah, he
point.
just like took a break and then like he went to the mountains and yeah, he was never seen again.
That's scary, dude. What if somebody hijacked his account, just like posing as Nindel? You find a corpse one day, identifies as man that identifies as this person, whatever his name is. I don't know what Nindel's real name is. I don't know if anybody in the community does, but that's crazy though. Yeah, Nindel was. Yeah, he was the big
Dude,
guy.
Seaman Fairy, that is the god conspiracy. Nindel is actually Gobo. He indeed did get 5 bill.
Yeah, but anyway, aside from that, yeah. No, but Nindel, yeah, I guess he was considered like the big guy, you know, the best player in the West at the point when he did get the LNN. Which
For sure.
I mean, at the time I didn't know, but right now looking back on it, like that's such a flawed way of thinking that just because somebody gets an
It's so
achievement,
dumb, but back then, LNN was just like
godlike,
10
right?
ranks above anything else, man.
It really was. Like, oh man, like just. I don't remember how big of a deal it was because when I was going forward, it was already kind of like, you know, people already had it quite a bit, and it was still considered godlike in 2013. Wait, I went forward in 14. I started going forward around 2014, and by that point, I think that
In 2013, it was still very insane. In
Nintendo got it
2014,
in
it
2013.
was
Yeah.
yeah. In 2014, USD LNN was like insane, but not like so insane because people had already done like multiple of them.
It
So
was
that's
about
when you
time.
did USD LNN. It was like
Mine was 15.
it was insane, but it wasn't. Oh, it was 15.
Yeah, I did it mine in 2000. Wait, no, 16 even. Let me check. I'll actually make sure.
I thought you did it in. Okay.
I think I got my SALN in 2015, so it can't be 2015 when I got my.
Oh, I meant the USD.
Yeah, USD.
By the way.
Yeah, I know. My LNN came in 2000
I thought you did it in 2014.
It was 16.
I did it in 2013.
No,
Holy
it
shit,
was 2016.
2016?
Yeah, May of 2016 was when I got a USD.
Okay, never mind then.
Yeah, quite a bit.
Yeah, at that point the USD LNN wasn't that bad, I guess.
I mean, I do think, like, even then, it was considered, especially because I did it with Marissa. I didn't do it with Rainbow B. I did it with Marissa B, which, I mean, I do think that's more difficult, just because it's Marissa. Yeah, I got USD in May 2016. Yeah, you're correct.
Yeah, I think Mercy B is also harder than Rainbow B LNN.
Yeah, so I mean, that was definitely one of my bigger achievements. I would still actually consider it one of my best achievements, just because, like, yeah, just going for it, the scale of going for it at the time, the prospect of it, and the fact that I did a shot type that's not a Rainbow shot type as well for an LNN is a pretty big deal.
Yeah,
But-
it was actually a big deal, even though it was 2016.
And even though nobody cared, nobody was around. The only people that cared were like you and like maybe a couple of other people.
Me and Kana were like, congratulations. And then everyone else was like crickets.
Everyone else was like, "Oh, cool. All right. So what are we eating for dinner?" Wait, was Kana even around? Wait, I guess he did watch my USD attempts.
I'm actually not sure.
I really don't remember a lot of the stuff.
I think Kana started in 2015, if I remember right.
No, I think Kana started around the same time I did. His replays date back to 2013.
I think Kana was scoring normal mode in 2015.
Am I wrong? Wait, no. Okay, there's yeah, he was doing. What? Oh, no. That's the different. I saw a guy called Kana-chan, and there was a replay from 2010. Like, what? There's no way. All right, Kana 0603. Its earliest replay dates to 2015, actually. Okay. Yeah, 2015 in August. And he did a No Miss No Bomb of Extra in USD. Okay. For some reason, I thought Kana played in 2013. Oh, okay, so that, yeah. The replay is 2015, but he started in June 2013. Okay.
Yeah, but he didn't really play from June 2013 to September 2015, basically.
Oh, the Gibby Kung's crew. All the EOSD streaming crew back then. You remember this? The EOSD
Yeah, you
stream-
had your own channel where we would stream on it.
literally
All of
called
us
the
would just-
EOSD stream. Yeah.
Yeah, man, we had literally the EOSD stream back then. Those were the golden days of EOSD, man.
Oh, dude. Rip Gibby, never 500 mil, 498 forever. How sad is that? Does that not put a tear in your eye, dude? Does that?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude.
I cry every time. Oh, I really want him to come back and at least get that 500 mil, but apparently he's fully done with the USD, so unfortunate. Damn, man. Yeah, I remember back then the USD stream. 600 mil was like the big goal that we were. That was like me, Kana, and Deplore. Kana and I gave up on it midway, or no, Kana never gave up on his. He just plays so infrequently. So let me correct myself. I gave up on 600 mil. I was like, fuck this. I just don't want to do it. Deplore got his 600 mil, and Kana got his shortly after two. No, Kana got his 600 mil after mine, I think. And that was with me taking a long break from Touhou. So yeah. No, at the time, even before then, Kana and Deplore were going for 500 mil, and then I joined in when they were going for 600 mil, and I tried to get 500 mil in like a certain amount of time. I forget. Do you remember? I learned only stage 3, and I tried to get 500 mil. I just did a 600 mil stage 3 route. I just got like a 200 mil stage 3, and I just made up shit on the other 5 stages, and it happened to work out. That was, yeah, it did. You look at my replay. My replay is up. I only score on stage 3. That's all I did. I just did stage 3 scoring, and everything else was. Actually, I think I scored stages 1 and 2 as well a little bit. I think I scored stage 1 in that. I don't remember. I think I did though. But yeah, stage 4 onward, it was just like, oh, I don't even, wait, did I do laser blitz? Again, I'll have to, maybe during one of my replay parties, I'll actually take a look at my 500 mil again. Fun fact, by the way, fun fact, that 500 mil is the only clear that I have, the only clear that does it the standard way, you know, the 0-0 going into Remy, or into stage 6, and then 1 bomb on Meister. That's the only run. My 614 mil clear actually happens to be, it was a 1 life route, so it died on Eternal Meek, and it timed it out. So I lost a whole bunch of score from that, but yeah.
And I only have 2 over 600 mil clears, by the way.
Yeah, you have the 647, and I don't know what the other one is.
621.
Oh, the 621, 647. So yeah,
Those are my only above 600 mil clears.
gives you an idea of how ridiculous clearing is in USD. Like, the scores in USD are respectable even without a clear. That's saying something, right? Like, that's just... What other game has that? UFO, maybe? Maybe UFO? I'm not sure. But I think in UFO you can get a good amount of score without clearing too, right? Like, you know, if you game over on LFS or something, I mean, you wouldn't do that, but... Like, if you game over on Byakurin, you still have a good chunk of score.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And so UFO and USD, I think those are the only 2 games where even without a clear, you can have a decent amount of score. I think. But anyway, that's getting off topic. Did you want to talk about anything in particular in that nostalgia aspect?
Not really. I don't know, let's just talk about the USD.
I mean, you could talk about, like, Hyman back then, because in 2013 or 14, like, you had a rivalry with Hyman, you could talk about that.
Okay, you asked me the questions about that, and I'll answer them.
What was your rivalry with Hyman all about? There you go.
Well, back then, Itsumiko's not Izumi, because Ichizoku's 698 mil actually didn't exist yet. So me and Hayamin were actually like, I think we were competing for world record, which was like 630 by Akura, I think. Either way, we were trying to be the second best also after Ichizoku got his 698. But basically me and Hayamin were like the two people who, well, we were like the only people who played Reimubi back then. And basically he was like at 550 mil, like PB, when I started playing scoring, and I had like 300 mil back then. And basically he taught me to play USD scoring, and Lixtel was also back then learning USD scoring. He had like 400 mil or something like that.
Oh, Lixtel! Oh, I want you to talk
Yeah.
about him too soon, but yeah, for now, Hayamin.
So basically Hayamin teach me how to play USD, and Lixtel was one of my buddies, and then I started coming up with a lot of new routes for USD, like improving resource use and stuff like that. So basically, yeah, like I came up with a lot of the routes for USD when the world record was like 631. And me and Hayamin basically were just like beating each other's PBs like by slight amounts every time, and then just like having a real like kind of one-on-one rivalry where both of us were just trying to outbeat each other and not really caring about the world record. But actually, because the world record holder was a cheater back then, we were actually really competing hard against each other for the actual world record, because he was a cheater.
Damn.
So my 647 mil clear, that is my highest clear of all time, that was the world record, because Ichizoku was 698 back then, but 647 was the best. So I got the world record there. Then Hayamin got 664, he beat mine with a clear, and then I got 665 game over, and that was the unofficial world record, because the wiki guys are pretty dumb, I guess.
Let's talk about that briefly. Should a clear be a requirement in EOSD for the score to really matter for stuff like world record? Or, you know, like, because BND list only accepts cleared runs, right? And that includes EOSD. So if you have like a 700 mil run, but that doesn't clear, and if you don't have a 500 mil clear, your run is not going to be on this list. Although, I mean, of course, that you can obviously clear a run.
I think that kind of list that doesn't include non-clears is really stupid, personally.
I've had mixed thoughts on it, because I do value the idea of clearing, but in a game like EOSD, like how important is a clear? Like, if you don't clear with a certain score, would you look at a 600 mil cleared differently compared to a 600 mil game over on Gensokyo or Meister?
Sure, but we're kind of talking about two different things.
That's
I would
that's
prefer
the point,
there
though.
to be a good high scoreboard that includes every best score, and PND's list is not good for that. That's what my only point.
True. I mean, I was steering it off in a little bit of a different direction, because I actually do want to diverge a little bit on the value of a clear versus a stage 6. Like, if
I
you
actually
have-
don't think that a clear is any value for me, like right now. I only care about the score. Of course, I think that if I game over on SG, I will be like annoyed that I didn't do it, but I won't value the score any less than I would the same score if I got a clear. For me, that doesn't make any sense, personally.
For a while, I thought if I were to have two, similar scores, and if it was a clear versus a non-clear, I would have valued the 600 mil. Like, if there were 600 mil, or in fact, let's put it this way: if I were to have a choice between 600 mil clear and a 610 mil non-clear, I would have gone with the 600 mil clear, just because it completes the game.
But then later I thought, like, is that
Yeah.
really, should that be the way you think? Like, if
I
you,
would go for 600.1 that doesn't clear versus 600.0 that does clear, literally.
so any score, as long as the score is higher,
Any score, and I don't care.
whether it's not a clear, yeah, I think that's how it should be too. Because in USD, that means if you have a higher score that game overs, you did more in the past, during the duration of the run, and I overlooked that a lot. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I've been revising my opinion on that because, like, when I got my PB, my current PB right now, oh, I don't want to talk about that because so much lost score in that PB. I don't know if you watched it or not, but I didn't cancel YDL. Like, God, I got 7 mil KD bombs for all 6 KD bombs. Every single one was like 7 to 8 mil. I think one of them was like 10 mil. And I bombed third non on Saku. I don't want to think about that run. And I bombed Thousand Needle Mountain too. So great, I can't read that spell. I really can't. Anyway, it kind of made me value my 649 mil score right now less than I should, because of the fact, and this was really recent too. So it's something that I just like recently thought of, but it doesn't. It doesn't take away from the fact that I did a very good run up to that point and I deserved that number, right? Like 649 mil means that I got 298 mil entering stage 3, and there were a lot of crazy things that I had in the duration of that run that got to that point, that led me to that point. So this is actually, because I really did want to talk about this, since EOC is one of those games where clear versus non-clear. I don't know how other people think about it, like, particularly the Japanese players. You know how they have a very big niche on... Take UFO, for example. Like, if they pick up, like, UFO on stage 6 during the LN and N phase, they'll probably reset the run. I think I heard Gobo did that on stage 5. Like, he reset...
did.
That's crazy! Like, if you picked up a UFO, if you picked up 2 UFO tokens, you would still... If it's a Novus Navam, you would consider it an LN and N, right? Like, you would go with that, wouldn't you?
By the way, he did it after capping GT.
Which is further insane. They'd have... Yeah, I mean, well, USD is just kind of in that awkward state, right? Because no other game, aside from UFO is the other game where you can score high without necessarily needing to clear. But I think UFO is a bit different. Like, in UFO, I don't know what your resources look like going into Byakuren. I think there is like a 1 life route. There's usually it's a couple of bombs or something that you have entering Byakuren? I don't remember. Oh, 2, okay. So 2 bombs, 0 lives is the typical, is it? Wait, no? I don't know then. Just, god damn it, cons. Make it clear. Well, yeah. Well, yeah! Either way, UFO would be the other game, but the point I'm trying to make is that the difficulty scaling is different, right? Like in UFO versus EOSD. EOSD, you have 1 bomb to try to get through Remy. And before that, you have to get through the bullshit before Remy, like on mid-boss, for example. Like, I actually lost a couple of very good potential runs to getting into the Eternal Meek safe spot. I lost a couple of runs to mid-boss, the Knife Non. Dude, I don't know how you look at it, Cactu, but when I get to mid-boss, Remy, Sakuya, god damn it, I don't know my own game! Alright, when I get to mid-boss Sakuya in stage 6 on a 700 mil potential, for example, like that one run that I had 700 mil potential, I died on that Knife Non. It's just, something about it is so scary, right? I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't know what I can say, because I'm basically gonna be timing it out from now on every run, because I'm aiming for 710 instead of 700 right now.
Oh, you're going for the world record. You're going for the big boy number.
Yeah, basically, if I have to do 5 spins to reach 700 and 10 spins to reach 710, I'm going for 10 spins every time. That's basically my routing right now.
No.
I'm not kidding. So basically that means that I'm gonna be doing stuff like timing out Sakuya's second non for Grace, doing the world graces, timing Sakuya's third known for grace, like taking like a crazy stage 6 route where I like risk everything, time out everything, you know.
If you do
Like-
that, can't you get like 730 mil? That's like a 730 mil route.
I just want, like, basically the point is I value 700 way less than a world record, even if the world record gets beaten somewhat like soon. That's what I mean. Because
Now,
I want
do
to
you-
I want to continue after I hit 700. So 700 doesn't have that much value for me because I'm aiming for like 720, 730 mil or something in that range before I want to like quit playing casually. So I'm willing to basically risk every run that has 700 mil potential to get that extra 10 mil because I know that I can do it if I just get lucky enough.
Oh,
Like I want to get in
God.
the limelight for like being the world record holder again, even if it's for a short time. Like think how long Sok has been the world record holder for EOSD. Like holy shit, what if the same happens for me? Like nobody gets 730 mil or whatever for the longest time. Like my 711 mil will be world record for like 14 months. That would be so epic, right?
Yeah, I mean, he has been holding that record for over a year now, like a year and a half, to be precise. So,
Yeah, man.
that's crazy to me. I mean, risking a 700 mil run for, I mean, I
Well,
guess
the
that's-
difference is that I'm going to continue after 700. Are you? That's the only difference, in my opinion, between the decision of doing like 10 spins for 710 instead of doing 5 for 700.
Yeah, I mean, I could. I don't know. I don't see myself playing after 700 mil for a long time. Close, NC. I'm playing PCB after USD, or at least I'm planning on it. I don't know. I could probably pick up a little bit of IN as well. I am gonna. What I want to do is I want to go to across the board. This is gonna be a very, very long-term project, mind. Okay. After USD 700 mil, my own personal ambition is to go through all the games and get a sufficient score in it. So for me, that means PCB 3 bill, IN 6 bill, SA 4.5, UFO 3 bill. These are my current. This is my current to-do.
I
So-
really like that, by the way, those goals.
Those are. I mean, it's gonna be a very,
Dude,
very long time.
Once
goal.
you're done with those goals,
I'm gonna-
dude,
I'm gonna be dead.
You're fucking set. You're fucking set for life, man. Once you're done with those goals, after having EOSD 700 mil, dude, you can fucking retire and be fucking happy, man.
I will be retired by the time I get those goals. I'll actually, literally, in real life, be retired. That's gonna take me such a long time. Yeah, like before, like my whole thing was I wanted to be the survival guy. Like back when Mino and I were competing with each other with like the whole. I guess we weren't really even competing. We were just trying to get survival goals done. So we were going for LNN. So I did that up to EOSC, and after EOSC, I'm like, man, I don't really want to do this shit anymore. And so I tried EOSD scoring, and now I'm starting to find, okay, I really do like the niche with this, and I want to see if I can hit that. Like something like what Sock's doing, right? Like something like what Sock's doing. Sock has, he doesn't have SA and UFO. He has 4 build in SA and like 2.5 in UFOs. Wait, no, he might have actually UFO. Let me check that real quick. Let me check what Sock has. I know he has MOF. Oh, right, that's right. I also want to have 2.18 bill in MOF as well. So I want to go from EOSD to UFO. I want to cover the main games there. I don't want to go into TD onward. Those games I probably am going to leave alone forever, and I'll be okay with that. But
Just do the good games. Do like 2.1 bill moth. Like that sounds like doable and like kind of fun maybe.
2.18 I think is reasonable enough for me. I mean,
2.18?
Yeah, 2.18. I want to hit.
Oh, that's really high then. Okay.
Yeah, I mean that's I haven't decided whether between 2.17 and 2.18. I'm probably gonna go for the Kits. I talk with Kits from time to time, and he told me like, yeah, I don't think it would be that bad going for just 2.18 because What Kits did was he went for 2.187. Now, that might not sound like a big difference, but in a game like Moth, 2.18 and 2.187 are fucking worlds apart. Like, worlds fucking apart. He did tell me, though, if I did want to go for like 2.18, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. Like, it's not that difficult. Now, so, I mean, either way, though, I want to test myself as far as I can, so I want to push myself to that point. Like, to the point where I might be able to go for, like, 3 bill, you know, PCB, 3 bill, UFO, 6 bill, IN. Sock has everything in that except for SA. He has 4 bill in SA. He doesn't have 4.5 yet, and I don't think he really has any interest in that, but yeah, so something like what Sock's doing, basically. But yeah, that's Sock. I mean, he's Sock. You know, what more do you have to say, right? It's not... My idea wasn't influenced by Sock, by the way. I mean, I did happen to find that Sock had these crazy scores, but... Like, I've always wanted to do that. Like, when I got into, like, cruxes of scoring, like, with the OSD, that it kind of opened up that kind of possibility for me. Like, can I do it? And it's going to be a very long-term goal, definitely. Like, it's going to be such a long-term goal for me to go for something like, you know, what I just mentioned. But we're talking about me right now. This is supposed to be about you, my friend. All right. Going back to...
For me, I basically, like, thought about doing the same thing that you were talking about, scoring every game to a high level. Like, I actually thought about going for, like, 3.5 bill with Rainbow B in PCB. You know, like, back when I was going for 700 mil without misdirection bombs. That was, like, my next goal after 700 mil, I'm not kidding. Like, 3.5 bill in PCB, but I changed my mind. Yeah, I actually wanted to go for 3.5 bill. I'm not kidding. Like that was my next goal. Go for PCB, like, world record and, like, way above with Rainbow B.
But then Yusuke came along.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to, like, score AOST, actually, then. Like, I changed my mind at some point, and now I basically think that I'm never gonna really even play any other Touhou game. Even for, like, survival or, like, anything. Like, even if it's, like, a new game, and it's, like, a blind playthrough, I'm not even, like, gonna bother. Like, I just put that time into AOST instead.
Fair enough. I mean, generally speaking, it seems like you're not going to be taking Touhou as seriously as you did before anyway, so might as well stick with the game that you're already
I actually did. I tweeted that I would do PCB 4 bill with Sakuya B after I'm done with the OST, by the way. And I was serious.
Wait, when was this, though?
I think it was like in 2016, like when I had world record with 665.
That must have gotten Yusuke's attention, yeah?
Yeah, that's when he tweeted, like, I wish someone like Cactu... Well, he said, I wish Cactu scored PCB with me. That's what he basically tweeted.
Damn. 4 bill. That's like, you're talking about like 800 mil level stuff right there, aren't you?
Well, not with... 4 bill isn't that bad with Sakuya B, right?
Is it not? Like,
I
I don't know how to compare it.
I think... Isn't 4 bill Sakuya B the same as like 750 mil with Rainbow B in USD?
Is it?
I think it is.
Oh, I don't know, but I feel like 4 bill is just... I feel like that's just... I don't know. I really don't know. I don't have enough knowledge about that level of scoring to comment on that. But
Yeah, to be honest, I shouldn't be saying anything either.
yeah, because 4 bill... Dude, we're talking about numbers that are... That is... definitely beyond us, for sure, I'll tell you that. If players like us were trying to go for 4 bill, we would probably have to dedicate the next 5 years of just like non-stop PCB.
I guess that says like a lot about the mindset that I had back in 2016. Like,
you just dropped that
serious
bomb! Yeah, you just dropped that bomb!
For 4 bill. Like, I just wanted to get 4 bill and be like the first person to get it or something. And I was like ready to just fucking grind for it after getting 700 mil.
Oh god. You just dropped that bomb like, hey, 4 bill! You probably turned a lot of heads and disappointed a lot of people after that, but
Yeah. Oh well.
oh well. But yeah, so I mean, it's a little bit different now. I thought you were just going for 700 mil. I didn't realize you were actually trying to get the. By the way, if you don't get a clear on that, if you get like 710, that's not a clear with like a crazy route.
I will consider it a world record. I don't care if no board like accepts it. Like I don't give a fuck. It's the world record. It's the highest score.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
it's
that's
the
true.
same value for me as a clear.
Okay, I was wondering if that would like impact your like the value that you have over that, or not.
No way.
Okay, all right, fair enough. I think that's how it should be. Like, just knowing that, having that kind of revelation, it did a lot for me too because I'm putting so much pressure on myself with the fact that I have to clear so much needless pressure. Like, it's hard enough, right? It's hard enough to try and clear the game with when you're in the scope of like it's so crazy because any one of us, any 550 mil plus player can do what you're doing normally in stage 6. Like, a stage 6 clear, even like with one bomb, is not that hard under normal circumstances. I would think I would have been able to do that in 2014, back when I was doing Mercy B element. I could have done that easily. But when you're on like a 700 mil run, that stage 6 just transforms, man, right? Like, I mean, you know this better than anyone else. You have quite a few stage 700 mil potential gamers on stage 6, so you can personally attest to the fact that even compared to like an LNN, and that was back in 2013, it's different, right? Like, the scales are different.
Yeah, 700 mil is just like, oh my god.
It's like walking a tightrope on like top of a skyscraper. It's like,
Yeah, you don't want to be in that situation where you're on stage 6 with 0-0 and you have to do 100 mil stage 6, and then once you're on Scarlet Gensokyo, actually feel the feeling of that, like having to cap that, like that's not fun.
because, dude, like after I got my 600 mil, a 600 mil clear was nothing. Like, I did, my 614 mil clear was that stupid death on Meek, but like aside from that, like I just didn't have that nerve. The stage 6 just it looked so different. It's like, why did I struggle with this so much in the past? Because I ruined quite a few 600 mil runs on Remy, for sure. And looking back on it, it's like, this was so easy. But then, like, when you put into the perspective what is on stake, I think that's what really separates, the really, like, top level people in any profession. Like, if you think about, if you watch, like, professional games, for example, or in any esport, or if you watch sports, a lot of people might be like, put themselves in that situation if they're in that respective field and be like, I could have done what this guy did, but then you have to consider the grand scale on what they're doing it on. Like I know you played Counter-Strike, right? Like, you could probably put yourself into like a pro perspective on a very clutch game. You could be like, I could have done that, but you know that if you were in that situation, just the fucking stage that you're on, it changes everything, right?
Yeah, definitely, I agree with that.
Yeah, so
I was very good at Counter-Strike, by the way. Like the
Global
highest,
elite.
like in Counter-Strike 1.6, I played among like the best in Finland for like a while, but I wasn't like competing. But I was doing like 5v5s with like one of the like best players in Counter-Strike 1.6, and then in Global Offensive I got the highest ranking matchmaking, and played some like league games where I had like teammates and stuff like that, but didn't actually like go anywhere like semi-pro or anything in tournaments. But I was like really like very good. Like I could have gone pro in Counter-Strike in 1.6, for example, if I actually like put all of my time into it. But basically I focused on Touhou instead back then.
and you don't regret it.
Yeah, I don't really. I also could have gone pro in League. I was in the second best League of Legends teams in season 2, by the way, if you didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
I won like I think 2 tournaments in online tournaments in League of Legends. I had like 2 like one of my best like friends in real life had I think rank 14 or something in season 2 in Challenger. Like once it changed from like ELO rating
That's crazy.
to like Masters and Challenger. He was like rank 14 in Challenger. I was I got well, I was Diamond 1, but I had like Master tier like promotion like attempts as well. But I was on like a pretty good team. Like the sponsors were like wanting to fly us out for like the tournaments in Helsinki basically.
Very competitive guy we have here, folks. I couldn't do anything close to that in any of my other games, like in StarCraft, for example, or whatever. Like, I played StarCraft, I played Left 4 Dead 2. Didn't really have a pro scene, but either way, I played that. I played Overwatch. And I never really got anywhere close to that top level. But damn, that's crazy. I'm pretty jealous. That's pretty impressive, though.
Like when I look at League of Legends streams, like now, like you know the NA LCS?
I don't know. I know nothing about League, by the way.
Well, basically, if you look at the like pro scene in League, I see people who I've like played against in like online games, and people that I've had in my friends list. Like that's how like good I was. Like basically, in season 2, if you went to like well, if you would look at the like Twitch League of Legends like streaming section, you would like basically see me on one of the top like 10 streamers like at all times, because back then all of the player pool was so small, so I would always be in a game in like solo queue with a really high level streamer, and I would have them as like my in my friends, and I would like chat with them. For example, if you like Google TSM Amazing, well, okay, he's not on TSM anymore, but he was on TSM, and he was actually the one who like taught me before I was like almost semi-pro. So he went into like actually like getting a lot of money from League as a professional, and he was like the main person who taught me how to play my role as a almost semi-pro who competed against one of the best players in Europe constantly. So like if you went on Twitch and you looked at League, you would like almost always see my name in one of the like highest viewer count streams back in season 2.
Interesting. Well, now we know.
Yeah, that's a not well-known fact about me.
Okay. Now that that's out there, there you have it. I never got anywhere near close to something like that, personally. I never. Yeah, like I guess StarCraft would be the best thing that I was at, but I wasn't even close. But then again, StarCraft. I would like to say though, in my defense, that StarCraft Brood War had such a goddamn ridiculous skill ceiling. So if I have anything to be proud about, I did do pretty well in that game for myself, but those Koreans, man, my god, there's just no way. There's just no goddamn way, right? I don't know how the skill ceilings compare in like League or in Counter-Strike, for example. I'm assuming they're fairly high. But damn, I've never seen a skill ceiling like that in StarCraft Brood War. I just need to get that out there, since I don't know. I want to say, I may be biased in saying this, but I want to say that RTS games have some of the most ridiculously high skill ceilings ever, as far as like any esport is concerned, but that might be a little bit biased on my end. But yeah. Either way.
Highest tier of competition. Come on, man. It's Hearthstone. Everyone knows that.
Hearthstone.
Duh.
Yeah, but that's it.
We
I-
done?
I have nothing really else to add on top of that. Do you? Do you have anything else that you want to talk about in particular?
No. We could talk like 5 more minutes about the USD and then call it quits and be happy.
Sure. What do you want to discuss on top of what we've already gone through? Is there anything in particular?
Mm. Like, how did you like see 700 mil back when you were going for 600?
Oh.
Okay, but before you answer that, Sima Perry has asked twice, why did I start scoring? I started scoring because I wanted the Western record for score, which was like 370 mil by .asp. That's why I started scoring. So how did you see 700 mil when you were going for 600?
Like you talking about like back in 2017 or like nowish? I guess because I have had
Like
different
when
perspectives.
you went for 600 mil, when that was your goal.
Alright, when I
Like,
went for 600 mil.
Yeah, like what kind of a goal did 700 mil seem back then? Because now you're going for 700 mil. Does
I
it like
think
has your view on 700 changed at all?
I think back when I was going for 600 mil, there wasn't a misdirection route yet for 7, right? So it was a brute force like 3-1 doing the bomb at the start of the stage, and then the old stage 5 route. I think that was still what was the thing for 700 mil back then, and I thought that was an end-all be-all type of goal to get 700 mil. Like I didn't think there was much more I could see higher in terms of skill ceiling at the time. Like 700 mil, like 7.5, 7.10, that would have been like the top of the top, right? And it looked ridiculous. Like to the point where if I ever even wanted to consider going for 700 mil, I would have to be ready to dedicate the rest of like the next 5 to 10 years of my life doing it. I don't know if I'm exaggerating or not. I feel like I am, but I think when I remember it back then, it was just so crazy. Like the idea of 700 mil was so fucking crazy. And right now, alright, so now though, fast forward into what I'm doing now, where I'm at with Touhou now, or EOSD in specific, even the old stage 5 route for 700 mil seems quite doable. Like with old 700, or with old stage 5 route, I would see like even 720 mil being a thing if you went really ham. Which would be the equivalent of like 730, 740 mil now, right? Something like that. So, yeah, my views have definitely changed. Like back then, 700 mil would have just been a pipe dream. Right now, 700 mil is just something I need to... It's possible, I just need to jump that threshold, right? Like the same thing with the threshold for 600 mil. Like I looked at 600 mil like, oh my god, this would be my end-all be-all score when I was going for it. And when I got it, it was like, okay, now it's very possible. Going for it now though, I haven't crossed that threshold. I haven't crossed that threshold yet, so while I personally believe I am more than capable of getting 700 mil, alright? This is what I believe. I believe I'm more than capable of getting 700 mil, but because I haven't crossed that threshold yet, it is so impossibly difficult for me to, I need to control my nerves, I need to make sure that I don't choke, because even if I'm not nervous, I'm so overthinking to the point where it's like, oh, should I do this? Should I skip out this optimization? There's so many things going through my brain, so much monkey chatter, that right now, even if my mechanical skills are there for 700 mil, I wouldn't be able to hit it because I just need to get I just need to get my foot across into that side of the door, and I haven't done that yet. So that's where I'm at. So my views have
I'm
changed.
honestly at the same point. Like, I
You've
feel
been
so,
at
like-
that point. You've been at
yeah,
that point.
I've been at that point for a while now. I have like maybe like 10 failed 700 mil runs on stage 6.
Yeah.
Now, how many do you have?
I have about 4 or 4. Like, alright, so one reasonably expectable because I had a 605 mil entering stage 6, and like I had 4 590 plus, 599, 595, and two more 590 plus.
Yeah.
Which I wouldn't have done, but it was a potential, like potentials. if
Yeah,
I,
that's the difference. I have actually gone for those attempts, like multiple times with like 590. I've gone for spins many times with 700 mil face.
See, I couldn't even get to that because I always died on like the fucking right streaming. That.
Yeah, it's a fun rivalry.
Yeah,
You'll be getting the advantage though that I will be mostly going for world record attempts instead of 700. So
That is true. That's a huge difference. The 10 mil
it
extra is a
it is
huge
a
difference.
by the way.
That is
Like,
so big.
Five spins for 10 mil on Amelia with 55% chance per spin. That gives you a quite low survival rate, right?
Not just that, but then timing down Sakuya's nons, timing down Ren's
Yeah,
shit.
I will do that.
I'm not
Timing
doing
down-
any of that.
Timing down Young Demon Lord, Remilia first.
Oh my,
on-
you're even timing that down too? That's...
Of course, I'm gonna be aiming for like 105 million stage 6 without spins, and then doing like 8 spins for 710 mil.
Jesus, dude. That... Well, Cactu, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Mongoloid himself. Alright. Yeah, that's...
I mean, I just like, if I'm already risking the run for like 700, why not risk it like even more for the world record? Like, it's the same logic. Like, I'm not gonna quit after 700, so why do I worry about getting 700 so quickly, right? Like, it's like I'm gonna reach past it eventually, get like 715, and then the 700 it wouldn't matter if I got it like 1 month earlier, you know?
That
So
is
let us
the
well aim
difference,
for the
yeah.
world record.
You
I
are-
mean,
that's-
someone might take the world record from me before I hit it, like if I don't aim for it right now. And even holding the world record for like a month is like just legendary. Like it's like, I don't know, it increases your like status in the community to like a god tier basically if you have overall world record in something. So I don't really care if Izumiko gets like 720 mil like the week after I get world record. I just really want to get world record. I care about that so much more than 700 at the moment.
At this point where you're at now, I can understand that because you've been sitting at that threshold for such a long time. You a lot of times just like sit back and
Yeah, but if I wanted to quit after 700, for example, because I can't play enough,
yeah,
then I would use your route. I would never risk a 700 mil route to go for 710. But because I know that I'm gonna be continuing casually, like I'm gonna be playing at least like 30 minutes, 30 minutes a day for like, in the next 3-4 years, aiming for higher PBs past 700 mil. It doesn't matter for me if my first 700 mil clear or non-clear gets delayed by months. It doesn't matter for me because a world record potential for even just a week is available that could be like not available very soon if Izumiko or someone else takes the world record from me,
that is
if
very
that
true.
makes sense.
Well, that is very true. I can definitely get behind that. Just for me, yeah, it's the difference of where our long-term goals lie. Like for you, it's you're gonna stay in UST forever. For me,
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
trying
never
to
going to PCB 3 bill like you are. That's
Yeah.
the difference.
Yeah, so that's, I mean, well, either way, both of us are still at that, gonna be trying to cross that threshold for quite a while. I'm really struggling with that, but hey, cheer us on, guys. If you would like to donate Twitch to our PayPal's, at most $10,000 per person. We don't want to accept more than $10,000 donation, right, Cactu? We're humble guys. If you want to,
Yeah.
just no more than $10,000, okay? All right, just that's the limit that we'll accept per person. Per person. All right, yeah, that's all I have to say. So, you got anything else to add to that, bud?
Just a second. I'm just gonna write my subscription link in the chat as well, and then I'm done.
All right, go ahead. All right, so that's that. That was Cactu, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead and
I love you guys, everyone in the chat. I love you.
Yeah.
Spam some Ohio's and some Conchas and all of that good stuff.
The
for me.
Bob Shams, dude. The Bob Shams. Spam
Roll
my
champs for everlasting and all of the weeb emotes for me. Thank you.
Anyways.
See ya, guys. I love you. I love you so much.
Alright. Thanks for having us here, Cactu. See you later.
Yeah, it was a fun time. See
For
you
sure.
later.
Okay, that was Mr. Cactu himself. We learned a lot about USD from that segment. Now, the next person we have is gonna be NC. So, last but not least, Mr. Names. I'm pretty sure